You are tuned in to episode 21. I said it, episode 21 of the Goodfellas podcast. It's your boy G5 Jeff TV, aka G5, aka 5, aka the Guru. And I'm in here with BoxingFirst Vlog. What's going on, brother?
Oh man, another day blessed on the planet, ready to talk this boxing.
Absolutely, absolutely. VP Shane will be in here in a little bit. But we got my man L Dub in the building, man. L Dub, the plug is in the building, bro. What's up with you? Hey, bro, you going live tonight, man? If so, let us know what time, man. We're gonna definitely jump in, support family, as always. You know what I'm saying? But today we're gonna be talking about little dust up between Jared Swift Hurd and Jamal Charlo at the Canelo fight. We're also going to talk about whether Canelo going to go on that European tour, man, and link back up with Eddie Hearn and, just be on a European bag run. And we got to talk about the fights this weekend, man. We got to talk Gabe Rosado, Jaime Munguia. That's a really good fight. Kiko Martinez fight. That's a good fight as well. Both of them is going to be on the Prediction Fantasy League. So we got a whole lot to talk about. My man Conrad Boxing in the building, man. Big shout out to you, good brother. Like I said, Shane will be in here in a minute. Vlog, I know you've seen the clip of the Charlos and Hurd going at it. Like, what was your thoughts on it?
I read a lot, bro. The thoughts on the clip, you're gonna get that sort of interaction with these fighters that are high level. Everybody ain't gonna like everybody. But from what it was over, I don't know, bro. You don't usually talk about nobody's woman and their children. And I'm just hearing like he kind of crossed the line. So, maybe why his brother didn't react the way he may have reacted, because he probably thought his brother was out of pocket. And then he didn't react because he probably thought himself, I'm out of pocket. So, just my take on it real quick.
Yeah, it was crazy seeing it. But that ain't no different than the trash talk you see in the hood or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that fight should have happened years ago. Years ago. What we talking? 3 years ago at least?
A minimum of 2. If you want to be nice, because look, even off that loss to J-Rock, he could have in some fashion bounced back with a Charlo fight with either brother. Because remember, he's a tweener. You know what I mean? Really, if you look at it, so if he was to fight either brother, he could make weight for either fight. But how good would he be at 154 compared to 160? I prefer him against the big Charlo per se, just based on him being able to carry more weight. They both match up a little better. He would have the height on Mel, I do believe. So, but he fights inside, so he would kill his height with fighting Mel because he fights inside. So it's just interesting that they had to do that to kick up a fight. Like, I think you could kick up a fight without doing that, but if you're trying to get your name in the streets again, you got to do what you got to do. And big move by Jared Hurd standing his ground, 10 toes down for the Fairmo. So, you know what I mean? He wasn't scared of them dudes in that back, but they are the other one. I don't know which one of them smacked the cameraman, bro, but they was in these TMZ boxing streets, bro, active this weekend, bro. Damn.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Like, it was crazy, man. Like, but I think it was probably some real beef, but I felt like it was strategic because everybody's talking about this beef between Hurd and Charlos, and they not actually talking about this man just lost recently. You know what I'm saying?
You got a point with that, but I don't know, bro. I find it interesting how they were even there when he and Mel Charlo is not lined up for a fight with anybody on the card. You know what I mean? Nothing is going to happen with Jamal and Canelo. So what was the purpose of that? I just think they was in these TMZ streets, bro. It was a big weekend, unification. If you ain't in the streets, ain't nobody going, know about you. They ain't going to see you. So I think they took the opportunity to be out there in front of the cameras and doing a little bit too much while they was out. But they say all publicity is good publicity. So if you want to be the bad guy, man, and you can carry that pressure, then big salute to him and shit, man. I mean, good luck with that role. Because being the bad guy don't always mean the bag.
True, 100% true, man. Jamie Leroy is in the building. Big shout out to you. Said, how well do you think Canelo can do at 175 if he moves up in weight? So Jamie, we talked about that for a little while yesterday. Canelo at 175 pounds. It really depends on who he runs into. 175 is a division where he can't just go up against any and everybody. Like Vlog said yesterday, these guys are very active. These guys are extremely heavy. They're probably rehydrating at 200 pounds. So he's going to be pretty much fighting a heavyweight inside of the ring where Canelo might rehydrate to 180 or something like that if he weighs in at 175. I mean, he might have to have weights in his pocket to make 175, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? So he might be 180, 185 tops. You know what I mean? He's gonna be giving up a lot of height, a lot of weight. It's a tall task, Jamie. It's a tall task, but that's something Vlog said yesterday, and it I kind of slept on it, and I'm like, it's dangerous water at 175, and I feel like every fighter has a cap in terms of how high they should go up in weight. And that includes the greats. You know what I mean? That includes the greats. We seen Roy Jones go up to heavyweight, and then when he came back down, Antonio Tarver gave him that work. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be hard for Canelo at 175. I can see him beating some guys at 175, but I can see some guys he would have pure difficulty with at 175. As you can see, the VP is entered the building. VP Shane, what's going on, good brother?
What's good?
Ain't nothing. The comment.
What's going on, Shane?
What's good, bro?
All right.
That's the question. He said, how well do you think Canelo can do at 175 if he moves up in weight? Shane, you want to take that?
Knowing Canelo, he's a strategic planner. He plays chess. So he's not just going to go up there without knowing what steps he's going to take. And because he has the fortune of being able to pick and choose who he wants to fight, when he wants to fight, don't be surprised if he moves up to 175 when he starts seeing regression in fighters. He is not going to do what we saw. He's not going to do, who can I use as an example? He's not going to do what Andre Ward done. Move up there and just fight Kovalev. Or what Usyk done, move up there and fight AJ. Or who else can I use as an example? There's those fighters who just move up and all of a sudden in their first few fights, you just take on the best. He's not going to do that. He's just going to wait and see what options are out there and if they're winnable options. He's not going to take a fight that's not in his favor. And that's the track record of this dude's career. Unless he's a favorite or at least 60-40 in his favor, he's not going to take that fight. What was the last 50-50 fight he was in? Let's keep it all the way 100.
Probably Triple G.
Exactly. And even after the Triple G fight, let's use hindsight and foresight. If we're going to be honest, Triple G looked poor against Kell Brook, and he almost lost to Danny Jacobs. Then Canelo fought him. He didn't fight him before that. You see my point? Because he could have fought him before that, but
right.
There was enough holes in his game where he's like, I can beat that dude. Same thing with Kovalev. He didn't fight Kovalev after like the Andre Ward fight. He fought Kovalev when got knocked out by Alida Alvarez. Anthony Yard gave him a tough fight. I'll fight him now. You see my point? He makes sure there's enough. He makes sure that he's covered. He makes sure he sees holes in the dude's game before he fights him.
You want to add to that vlog?
I think we covered it pretty good yesterday, but I can't really add too much to it because we know he just patterned himself behind what Floyd did on the second half of his career, making sure you protect yourself, basically. You understand what I'm saying? So still try to put on good fights, which he's been doing, but we know it's a secondary world. It's like when you're an old school rock band and you used to be good, but you still good enough that you can go make a bag and you just go in the right places to make that bag. So that's what I believe he's doing. And there's no disrespect to him or the team. If you smart with it, then be smart with it, bro. I mean, the fight was entertaining. It wasn't worth $100 though. I'm just saying. He definitely needs to go back to Dazan. He can get that $19.99 every month from me.
Is it any way he stays at 168 and defends?
I mean, unless there's some real big money fights there. I mean, like I can see the Charlo fight happening. Benavidez maybe.
Only way if he has an advantage, like Shane mentioned a few minutes earlier, in the situation of him still being in superior power situation. And that's definitely top dollar. You know, he gonna be the A side when it comes to the bag. We talking 80-20 split, 70-30 type of split. So, you know what I mean? But who could bring that bag and give him that security? That's still a big name. Charlo coming up at the 168. Would he really have that much of an advantage? I'm not sure. I think it could be a big money fight, but I think that's really it. I don't see the Benavidez fight being a real big money fight. I don't know. I don't think he has that following like that, but I could be wrong though. And that's no hate on Benavidez.
I'm being all the way 100. A fight that I think could be real big for him. And I know I'm not just saying this, I'm actually being dead honest. I actually think he could fight Eubank Jr. And I feel like that fight would do some numbers. Purely and simply because that fight does 1 million pay-per-view buys here and it sells out 60,000 fans easily. So I'm just thinking it's a money fight and it's a winnable fight. It's another name I just throw out there.
Yeah, the reason why I asked the question is because
real
Canelo.
Quick. Jeff, let me ask him something real quick. If that fight was to happen, how would they stream that? How would they get that out? Because we know Dazan doesn't do a pay-per-view platform. So, like, how would they get that to the masses? We have Showtime and we have other streaming sites. So, how would they make that a pay-per-view event on that side of the pond?
I mean, Canelo isn't signed to the zone. And Eubank is with Sky. Sky do pay-per-view, so it wouldn't be a problem.
Okay. My bad.
Yeah, the reason why I asked that question is because I mean, Canelo's already the biggest name in sports, so he already has enough leverage. The fact that he would go into negotiations not only with that, but the fact that he's undisputed, like he would literally have a stranglehold on negotiations. Like he could do whatever he want. He can drag guys up from 160, make them come see him at 168. He can drag guys from 175 and drag them down to 168 to see him, so he keeps his undisputed status. Do you see that being a possibility? I don't know who want to kick it off.
1 second, Jeff.
How you feel about that, Vlog?
That's what I mean when we spoke earlier about him being in control of the situation or having a slight edge in the situation. Those routes that you just mentioned play right in his control hands, in that whole team's control of the situation. So, I mean, it's a possibility, I think, up or down, as long as it's a fighter that he semi has an edge over to a certain extent, and that it's a decent bag behind it. I'm not sure about the Eubanks thing. I still think they're going to go the WBO mandatory route, the easier youngster who kind of got a little, his name a little hot in the streets. He's a pretty boy. easily marketable. You understand what I'm talking about? So I still think they're gonna go that WBO mandatory route with Zach Parker, but that's just my spiel. I could be wrong though.
Go ahead, Shane.
Now, I mean, what you gotta understand is, it's what does Canelo want to become from this point on? Because does Canelo want to be that dude who is looking for legacy upon legacy upon legacy, or does he want to? Because no matter how you put it down, he's masquerading as he's fighting the best. He's fighting the best at their best. That's a masquerade. We all know that's not the truth, but that's a masquerade. So he's gonna have to at least continue to pretend like he's fighting the best. I can't see how you market a Zach Parker. Neither do I see how you market a Eubank Jr. as fighting the best, to be honest. At this point, it's a case of, do you go up to 175 and test your mettle, or do you fight the likes of Charlo, who many people want to see you fight, or maybe a Benavidez, maybe, you know, do you fight those dudes? And I feel like there's more chance him fighting a Charlo than him fighting a Beterbiev or Ramirez.
Yeah, it's he's gonna have some interesting decisions to make. Before I get into that a little bit more though, D Hodges in the building, man. Big shout out to D Hodges. D Hodges, L Dub. Conrad said the zone will do pay-per-view for big fights. Conrad, D Hodges, Jamie Leroy. What do you think about Conor Benn's next fight against Chris Algieri? We can get into that. I actually like the fight. Chris Algieri's actually coming off of a good victory against Les Pierre, coming off of a 2+ year layoff. The fight, and Les Pierre is not garbage. Not garbage at all. So for him to come back after a 2-year layoff and fight him and get a real solid victory, I commend him for that. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, can I answer? I mean, I'm not saying the fight's a bad fight, but it is a fight where you have to ask yourself, where are you trying to go? Because you look at the likes of Victor Ortiz, and I have to mention these dudes because they're in your era. You look at the likes of Victor Ortiz, Boots, Stanionis, you can see a clear path of where they're trying to go. Chris Algieri, there isn't any. There isn't a clear path. Like, it's not like you're going for titles. He's not a big name that you can sell in the UK. So where are you actually trying to go with this? I don't understand what he's trying to do.
Can I speak to that?
Go ahead.
I think with him, it's a stay busy fight. It's also a semi-recognizable vet that's semi-accomplished, a different style. I do believe Algieri's a southpaw. So it's a semi-test for him in that fashion. But I think with a guy like him, you want to keep his name really ringing. You can't go 3 months with him not fighting and think people still going to think he's a top-tier guy. I think he has to stay busy to kind of still hang in there with the Virgil Ortiz's in that second tier of the welterweight division. So I think it's more of a stay busy fight and a test of his skills dealing with a southpaw who I'm not sure if he's fought one yet, but somebody slick. He hasn't really fought too many slick guys, so it's a good test. And then Algieri doesn't have a lot of wear and tear, so he should still have some legs and be able to maybe give Ben a puzzle or two to figure out. But I see KO in 8.
I think Algeria is orthodox. I think, but your point still remains. Just Shane, just to address what you said. I think where they're going with it is basically they know what they have. They know what they have. They know he's not a Spence, a Bud, a Boots, or a even a Virgil Ortiz. He's none of those guys. You know what I'm saying? He is go ahead.
I don't want to cut you off. He may be the Sean Porter of that sort of that match room, that the zone thing. A very busy fighter. Kind of put him in there with some other guys that have had a little bit of activity. And like you said, Chris Algieri coming back off the layoff, grabbed a good victory, kind of a good guy to get ahead and match him up with another guy that's just coming off a victory. So you kind of matching him up with somebody that's busy on a winning streak. Not busy, but somebody that's been recently active on a winning streak. So he's not going against the what's the boy that just, I mean, they just spin him around and he loses to everybody. Gamboa. He's not a Gamboa-esque type of guy. So I think that does help with Ben and where people are putting him at in the past year, 2 years, with these names he's seeing, because it's been upgrading and he's been seeing some Western competition. So that's a good thing too. He's getting an international feel for his name, and he's not area anymore, and he's not really up under his dad. But anybody see that clip of them two in the punching bag joint? Not to go too far off topic, I thought that shit was sick, bro. The fools hit that shit right on the number. Both of them hit that shit. I think it was at 886 or something like that.
60. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro. It was crazy.
Yeah. To answer Shane's question about where they're going with him, I actually think they're moving him pretty well, actually, because they understand what they have. They know he's not a top 5 guy. They know he's still raw, but they know that he's a name. So they're giving him older guys with names. This falls along those lines. He's also fighting a guy that's a boxer, something that he hasn't had to deal with in his past couple fights.
I get that, Jeff, but then where do you take him? Because it's like eventually you're gonna have to take a step up fight. So
Right.
when do you take that?
But,
when do you take that step up fight?
But that's what I'm saying. If you're dealing with a pride, the hardest thing to move is a person with a name, but you know they still a project. That's the hardest career to manage.
Bro, so, I got two. If they do this with him, the next fight that would be a great fight for him would be Sander Martin, bro, who's actually on his own now that he, did his thing with Mikey. I'm sure he done got him a 2-3 fight sort of thing going on. So that's another good move. So you can move him around, keep him busy until the right title situation lines itself up. The best fight for him would be for Virgil to get some reminiscence of a strap. You understand what I'm saying? If that can happen, there's a good matchup and a good opportunity to become a welterweight champion via that route. You understand what I'm saying? That way you're not moving him off of your platform, feeding him to the dogs or to the wolves, so to speak. So I think they can still do it. I get Shane's his he don't really understand it, but I get that, you know what I'm saying? But I think they doing good with him, bro. And I'm a big fan of his, man. Big fan of his.
Bro.
Oh, my bad. I'm not saying they're not doing good with him, but I'm just saying there's gonna come a point where he's gonna have to make that jump. And I feel like a lot of people like Eddie Hearn and whoever's managing his career know that they don't want to put him in a fight he loses, and all of a sudden he loses that that fan following, and people start questioning him, is he a hype job, XYZ? So I feel like I know why they're doing it, but I'm like, when do you make that jump, and how long do you keep riding this train? Because yeah, Chris Algieri's everything Blunt said is true, and I agree with, but there's got to be some form of transition. So you go from a Chris Algieri, then to another level, then to another level, where you're building a dude up.
But we got to be careful with that. Because we just watched somebody that wasn't moved like that, and his career is not the same, and that's Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly actually should have been the one that been taking these steps. That's why I said I love what they're doing with Conor Benn, because they understand that he needs progression fights. Now to answer your question, when does he take the step up fight? I would like to see it sometime next year. If he fights Algieri, and I think Vlog had a great idea as far as his next fight.
Sandor Martin is a good fight.
Yeah, Sandor Martin, that's a really good fight for Conor Benn, and he can piggyback off that Mikey Garcia name. So that was a great point by Vlog. Give it to me, Vlog.
It's me, baby.
The street name drop, man. But
Do you think it's a case of, as Blunt said, you waiting until the right opportunities come, where you start seeing the deteriorations in the Furmans and the maybe the Porters, maybe you start seeing the deterioration in those dudes, then you start going. Is it a case of that?
It is, but to be honest with you, this is like we've seen the greats go through the same building process.
You guys know my number one fight for Conor Ben, and that's Adrian Broner. I'd actually do it in America as well, but I'll do everything in my power if I was Eddie Hearn to make that fight.
But that's what I'm saying. Go ahead, bro.
Let me ask you a question. Now, when you talk progression, is that a fight for progression or is that a bag? Does that fight lead to a title?
No, it's a bag.
That's what I'm saying, bro. I think he can get the bag without the hassle. That's a hassle. A lot of hoopla for nothing. Doesn't elevate you in the standings. So I think you can go a different route and still learn something in the ring. You're not going to learn anything by beating an AB at this point in his career. You understand what I'm saying? I know he needs the help for financial reasons, court cases, all of that. But we don't throw fighters bones like that anymore. Not when you got a great prospect and a great contender in Conor Ben. And I wouldn't throw. I mean, I know you as a fan would like to see that, but that's not something that's high on my radar, though.
Yeah, I actually love the fight for both reasons. Number one is definitely the bag. Like he's definitely going to be able to pay some lawyers and some court costs with that bag, for sure. So I definitely agree with Vlog on that one. But for Conor Ben, I like the fight inside the ring as well, because regardless of how we feel about Broner, that will be the most accomplished person he's been in the ring with, biggest name he's been in the ring with.
And I feel like, I know you guys don't look at it like this, but America is still where it's at. So Adrian Broner,
let me say this though, bro, he's not an accomplished welterweight, and that's where they would have to fight at. So that's like you dragging him up to take advantage of his position that he had. Not even that he has, but a position that he has. So a hardcore like myself could look like that. Man, come on, man. You doing some Canelo type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
No, but the reason why I disagree with that, Blunt, is because America is where it's at. He's going to need a fight in America that is going to put him on the map in America. AB is that dude. Anybody else in America beats him. Anybody else in America that can put his name in the map beats him. That's the problem.
No, that's a bit of a stretch, because there's some guys that have some decent names that I think he can run with, the Rashidi Ellis's, those type of guys. I think he can run with
don't give him that name though in America. I mean,
I get it. That's what I'm saying. But they're the only guys that really give him that name. I have to give you Broner. Yeah, I mean everybody know Broner, so I can't argue that. Yeah.
And it in Vlog, that move falls along the lines of building a star. You know what I'm saying? Like you find a guy that has a name, they're kind of on the downside, but everybody knows them. And that's your opportunity to kind of put him on the resume and kind of build your way up to some type of stardom.
Or catch a guy out of pocket chasing you on some Mikey Garcia with Spence. And next thing you know, Spence became this mega guy. And he basically propelled himself even to a better position off of what Mikey was bringing to the table. So it can work both ways. You know what I'm saying? I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I feel like Conor Ben is I love the Broner fight. Me personally, I know we talking about Ben, but like I said, for Broner, if anybody needs to go on a European tour, it's him. He needs to literally go on a European tour. He needs to fight Kell Brook, Amir Khan, Conor Ben. His bills will be paid up.
And in a couple of them fights, I give him a chance. Would this stay the Kell Brook
Absolutely.
You get him down to 147 because you know he a thick guy, so you can get him to cut that extra weight. You could probably do something with him inside of 10.
Talk to
And Mr. Glass himself, Mr. Chin Glass himself, I think. So I give him some good fights right there. I can't argue with you on that one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like people talk as if Broner don't have no options. I'm like, he has options. He just got to go on a European tour to get them.
Bro, if he goes on the European tour, his bills will be paid in full, like Mitch Rico and AZ, bro. His money will be paid in full, bro. Literally,
Yeah,
this dude. Last time he went to court, he's talking about he only has $13 and stuff like that, bro. So I think he might have to work for you, Jeff.
Hey,
man,
run them names that you just said again. Run them names to Shane.
I said if Broner goes on a European tour, he fights Kell Brook, Amir Khan, Conor Ben. I say all his bills will be paid. All of them.
Facts.
All of them. He could do. He could throw Evanesian in there too. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it'll be. I mean, it would be a great opportunity for Conor Ben, but I think it'll be a really good opportunity for Broner as well. But because I'm like at this point, Broner can't do nothing in the States. The one thing he can't do is afford to lose to somebody that don't have a name. I've been saying that for years. Like, he can't afford to lose to somebody like Sander Martin. Like, he can't lose to a guy like that. His career be over. You know what I'm saying? Like, he has to lose to somebody with a name, even if the name is washed up. Got to lose to somebody with a name, man. Like, but Conor Ben, I love the way they moving Conor Ben, man. I love the way they moving him because they know he's still a project. He is still a project. I don't even, to be honest with you, I think he wouldn't be ready for an Evanesian fight until probably like late next year. To be honest with you, Conor Ben.
Most probably not.
Yeah.
Especially with the fact that Avenesian's is on a roll right now.
Yeah. And on top of that, I'm like, I still think him and Josh Kelly a 50-50 fight. You know what I'm saying? So it's Ben got some work to do. Ben definitely got some work to do, man. But I'm excited about how they're moving him. I'm excited about how they're moving him.
Run for these comments.
Hold up, Jeff. I can't let you get away with that one, bro. You do me like this all the time. You are not with a straight face saying he is on the same level as Josh Kelly, bro. I gotta hold you. That's a bit disrespectful.
Of course
he is.
What?
Why is he not?
What?
Why is he not, bro?
I see Josh Kelly is not even a contender, bro. He's just a good name for boxing. He's not.
So is Ben.
Ben
the same thing.
Ben is a real contender, bro.
Based on what?
Based on ability. Based on
top 15?
He don't have more ability. He don't have more ability.
I think I can squeeze him in. Because for him, he's bringing something to the table. Remember, he's bringing the ability to make a big fight. The name. And he's a dog inside the ring. He's not a slouch. He's not the highly skilled that we know in this welterweight division. But to make a good fight or scrap, I think he's that dude. He's not going to go over.
He don't have more ability than Josh Kelly. He don't have more ability than Josh Kelly. I'll tell you that. He doesn't have more ability than Josh Kelly.
He got more heart. He got more dog.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I'm giving him the edge on that. And he got a bigger name.
Right now, yeah.
So I give him the edge in that. I don't think they on the same level. I just couldn't let that one slide. I heard
Did you hear what you just said?
White boy too.
Did you hear what you just said?
What?
You said you couldn't let me get away with that, but I give him the edge.
No, I'm giving him the edge in between the two of them. I'm giving it to Conor Ben. I'm giving it to Conor Ben, but I wouldn't say they're on the same level.
Is that a 64? Are you calling that a 60-40 fight?
I can go 60-40, 65-35. I can go that range. Just because
you is crazy, bro.
But just because Kelly he can box a little bit, but his gas tank is shit. And he don't have no power. He will get. I think he'll get washed. Actually, I'll take that back. I think it's 75-25 because he's not going to be a dog in the 7th, 8th, 9th round. Conor Ben coming forward, putting pressure on him. That weak ass shoulder roll gonna get his chin checked. So I take that back now that I break that shit down in my mind. he getting dog walked in the late rounds. If he don't get knocked out, he gonna get beat up.
I mean, I
I ain't
can't
saying that
say.
can't happen.
I'm not saying that neither. Like I'm not saying that neither. I'm saying strictly now head to head versus talent. That's two separate conversations. Now we talking head to head. I do think I still think it's a 50-50 fight. Me personally, I still think it's a 50-50 fight.
Yeah, I mean,
It's close to a 50. I wouldn't feel comfortable saying Conor Ben is a clear favorite.
he's not a clear favorite. But what I would say though, in Conor Ben's favor, is he has done a good job at keeping himself active, and he's built up a lot of momentum. Josh Kelly's already using excuses like he's too big for the weight, and he didn't rehab. Like we've seen a steady regression in Josh Kelly. Like he's almost plateaued, where he fought Ray Robinson, then he fought Avanesian. We've seen that where he's already shown us holes where his gas tank, as Blunt said, and we know the dude when it came down to the clutch rounds in the Robinson fight and the clutch rounds in the Avanesian fight, he didn't have that dog. Now, Conor Ben, on the other hand, he showed us that dog earlier in his career when he fought that Paynard, but that wasn't the fact that he was even brought to a dog fight with Paynard. You have to ask questions because Paynard
lost that fight. He lost that fight too.
Exactly.
He got robbed in that fight. But that was a long time ago though. Like that's a lot. But Vlog, listen, Vlog, good points. Like a good points. This not one of them situations where I'm like, yo, like absolutely
where
crazy.
Where we now in the comments, bro?
Oh yeah, I don't hold me up with my bullshit. Get to the comments, man. Let's go.
All right, let me get in here real quick. Conrad said they don't need to feed Conor to the guys overseas. Enough money and fame within the UK. That is the route I see for him.
I don't think that's boxing though, is it?
Conrad, that's not a title though, bro. So we talking a route to getting to a belt. That's where I think our conversation was kind of molded around a little bit. What route we're getting to a belt? We can know he can get a bag. That you know what I mean?
And if you think about it, bro, if that was the case, they would have never brought AJ over here because AJ was making more money than Conor Ben. And he still came over to America, bro. Everybody knows that they have to come to America at some point. AJ didn't come over here for money. He definitely didn't come over here for money. He's making all the money in the world.
Yeah, he came over to be a global star.
Exactly.
Padman McGriff in the building. My guy, what's going on, good brother? Miles Williams said, how does Chisora Parker go? Big shout out to you, Miles. Chisora Parker, I'll take the lead on this one. Miles, I don't want to see the fight. I didn't ask for the fight. I really didn't like the first fight. But I did think Chisora won the first fight. So I understand it, I get it, but it's just something that just wasn't on my radar. I would say Chisora's probably gonna get robbed again. And Parker gonna win by decision.
The annoying thing is there's so much other better fights at heavyweight that fight just flew under the radar. Like, bro, I'd rather fight Yoka versus Bacoli. That fight I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to that fight.
Yeah. Go ahead, Blow.
I'm actually looking forward to the fight because I like what he had to say about having to pay for a fucking victory out here, man. Like, this shit is ridiculous. He has been showing well since he built up a bunch of losses. So, I mean, throw the man a bone if he in there. That size dude in there for 10, 12 rounds, bro, and coming forward, like, he didn't look bad against Usyk. So, I mean, come on, bro. When he in there fighting dudes that are not bangers and you taking the fight from him, that's just ridiculous. So I think he should get the knockout, bro. I hope he go for the knockout. Just put your chin out there, and if you have to, because I don't think the boy can touch him. The boy hitting with pillowcases. So I'm just, I'm looking forward to it for revenge sake, though. And just because it'll be good karma for him, bro. If he need to go out there and get a knockout. And he didn't seem mad. He just seemed frustrated when he was speaking. And Eddie was out there like, yo, we ain't doing that. We ain't paying for no judges. He like, man, I'm saying, though, this is ridiculous. I mean, he was speaking from the heart, though, bro. So I get his honesty at that press conference. But he do need to go out there and put them paws on him and get him out of there. That way you take it out their hands.
I agree with that. One thing with Chisora, though, Chisora fades a lot, so he makes it very difficult for the judges because pretty much at the round 5 he's on fumes. You know what I
Literally.
mean? Jamie Leroy said my personal opinion, Ben needs to stay away from David Avanesyan fight. I don't think he's ready for that fight yet. Avanesyan's on a nice roll. I don't think he's ready for that. Next year though, next year I think he will be ready. Second Ezra, the legendary pad man, is in the building. Absolutely. I have candy in my van. I know I ain't never see you before, man. Go to my man BoxingFirst Vlog channel. Hit a subscribe button over there. Subscribe to the channel. Go to the website too, g5jeftv.com, and join the Boxing Prediction Fantasy League, man. It's free to join and $500 for the winner of the league, man. Second season. Said European tour would smoke AB. What happened when Fury smoked that clown Wilder? You know what, bro? I'm gonna entertain that comment. I'm gonna entertain that comment. How does Broner do on the European tour with the 4 names that I mentioned? Ben, Khan, Kell Brook, David Avanesyan. How many wins do Broner get out of the 4?
I give him 2.
Ooh,
It's obviously the elder statesman. We talking Brook. We talking Khan.
he'll beat Brook, beat Khan, lose to Avanesyan, lose to Ben.
Yeah. Because for me, he'll lose to 2 of the busier fighters.
Okay.
At this point, I don't see Khan throwing 30, 40 punches around. Brook never really been a volume dude. So each fight, you can kind of, say it's a 50-50. But will we see a come forward sort of AB really on the hunt, to win them fights? But in the other 2, them fights will come to him. He can counter punch. He can make them dudes look bad because he did a little bit to the boy Giovanni Santiago. He made him miss a few times. He still got a little bit of defensive swag with him. So those fights could be interesting.
I don't know where Shane at, but I'll answer the question. I think Broner beats Khan. I just, even though Broner's so economical with the punches, I think he's gonna land something to where chin glass is gonna be all over the place. So I like that fight. I think Broner can win that fight. I actually think he loses to Brook. I think he loses to Ben, and I think he beats Avanesyan. I got him winning 2 out of the 4. What you think, Shane?
Who are you talking about?
I said if Broner goes on the European tour, this my man, I have candy in my van comment. He said European tour would smoke AB. So I said out of the 4 names that I mentioned, if AB fights Brook, Khan, Avanesyan, Ben, how many victories he gets out of the 4?
None.
He doesn't beat any of them?
You have to land punches to win a fight, bro. You have to throw punches to win a fight.
So Vlog said 2. I said 2.
Who's the 2 that you said?
I'll let Vlog go first.
I said 2 of the elder statesmen out of the 4 dudes mentioned. That would be Brook, and obviously that'd be Amir Khan. So with just him being on the younger side of those 2 bouts, I just think that gives him a natural edge. So that'd be the only reason.
I mean, there's no way on God's green I'm picking him to beat any of those dudes, bro. That dude needs to throw punches to land. Go on, who do you pick?
I picked Khan and Avanesyan.
You must be on crack. He would pick Avanesyan. He'll beat Avanesyan. You must. And
I'll tell you why. And I can tell you why. I can tell you why.
Go on.
First of all, Avanesyan's a small 147. That's number 1. Okay. He's a very small 147, and he got short arms for 147. Well, bro, the one thing Broner does well he does well against smaller guys. He does well against smaller guys. Now I know what you're saying.
Was Mikey Garcia not a small 147? In fact, he was 135.
Yeah, but
Nah,
Broner's not a Shane. Don't give me that. Don't give me that because Mikey Garcia. Go ahead, Vlog.
Think about Avenesian's volume though. You don't think the pace that Avenesian was set in that fight will offset him being a smaller guy because he don't fight like he's a smaller guy.
Yeah, but he's small though, and what's going to happen is he's comfortable countering against small dudes. That's how he made his name.
He's not throwing. When was the last time you saw this dude throw more than 10 punches in a round?
When he fought a small dude like Avenesian.
Bro, I believe he don't throw punches. Pacquiao's small, bro.
Are you comparing Pacquiao to Avenesian, bro?
Bro, we're talking about size. We're talking about size.
Shane, if you're talking height, fine. He's nowhere near Pacquiao as far as size.
I think he did. I don't see much difference.
If I'm smoking crack, you smoking the same crack. The same crack.
Bro, Mikey Garcia was a 135 when he fought him, and Pacquiao ain't been big, bro.
Pacquiao and the Avenesian's the same person physically. That's what you're telling me. Shane, I'm telling you,
there's not enough of a size difference. 1 second, I'm telling you, there's not enough of a size difference in that fight for me to say that he kept his hand in his pocket in that fight.
Shane,
go on.
We're talking Manny Pacquiao here.
Yeah,
Manny Pacquiao here. Be careful what you're saying.
Bro, I know. I'm not saying he's a better fighter, bro. I'm saying in terms of size. You're bringing up size like size matters when AB fights. It does not matter.
But the thing is, Pacquiao, first of all, at that time was one of the most accomplished names out there. Number two, he still was cracking at that time. So it wasn't because he was small. Pacquiao was small.
Who was bigger, AB or Pacquiao in that fight? And we visibly saw that Broner was bigger.
Yo, I can't believe you're sitting up here trying to tell me that because Pacquiao's small, that's the reason why Broner kept his hands in his pocket. We know why he kept his hands in his pocket. No,
you're saying that because the dude is small, Broner's not going to keep his hands in his pocket. And I'm telling you that's not going to happen.
And I'm telling you, if you're going to do that, don't bring up one of the best guys of this generation.
I'm bringing up everyone. I'm bringing up everyone. The dude, I'm bringing him up. I'm bringing him up because he brought up size. You said,
bring up a smaller dude that ain't as good as Pacquiao.
Bro, but I'm keeping it real, bro. You're basing it on the fact that it's size. But it doesn't matter about size because the dude is going to get outworked and overwhelmed.
Hey, Shane, so we can solve this right now.
Go ahead.
We can solve this right now.
Go ahead.
Broner fights Avenesian. We making a bet.
Bro, they're never going to fight. They're never going to. No. They're never going to fight.
They're
never going to fight. The reason why you're talking trash, bro. You have to throw. When was the last? I don't even know if this guy can throw more than 10 punches around. I don't know. I don't know if this guy can throw more than 10 punches around. So how am I supposed to pick a dude to win a fight? In his last 5 fights, he hasn't fought. Bro, 1 second more. Let me finish this point. Go ahead. He has fought 58. Wait, let me count. 12 times fight. He's fought 60 rounds, and not in those 60 rounds, he's thrown more than 10 punches in those 60 rounds.
So can I ask you a question? So can I ask you a question? And I'm about to walk right into a ditch. So everything that you just said, why is Broner your favorite opponent for Ben then? If
because of the name,
said is true.
Just because of the name and the price.
But you just said at some point, when is Ben gonna move up? What's the point with Ben? So when I
mean move up, I mean in terms of status fight, in terms of the status of the fight. That is not a big status fight. Chris Algieri is not a big status fight. AB is.
So why?
Because you can sell this dude. This dude can sell a fight. There's no way you can tell me that this dude can't sell a fight, bro. This dude can sell a fight.
So Ben gets Broner up out of there in what round?
I don't think he gets him up out of there. I think he takes him the distance. He takes like everybody else. The AB has amazing survival skills. In every single fight, he goes in there with one main mentality. I'm going to keep my hands in my pocket, but I'm going to last 12. AB he don't. Jesse Vargas, he didn't throw punches. Mikey Garcia didn't throw punches. The last dude he fought, I don't even know that dude.
He didn't throw punches against Jesse Vargas. We was live for that fight.
Bro, he kept his hands in his pocket. He kept his hands in that pocket for that fight as well, bro. He kept his hands in his pocket for that fight.
Shane, we had 10,000 people in the live. Don't do that. We had 10,000 views for that live.
Don't do that. 10,000 people saw that he did not throw punches.
A vlog. Let me tell you how this dude walking into a ditch, bro. We was live for that. We was live for that card, right? Not only is Shane is walking into a ditch because he gave Broner that fight. So how did he keep his hands in his pocket? You gave him that fight. Yeah, you're stuttering. You're stuttering. How did he win that fight? He kept his hands in his pocket.
You're not letting me talk.
Go ahead.
You're not letting me talk. Because neither of these landed punches in that fight. It's just because AB, for the lack of punches he landed, he was at least accurate. Both Jesse Vargas and AB were fighting like they were both in reverse. They were both, it's like a fight in a mirror.
Shane. They literally was getting it in the last 5 rounds of the fight. That's why the line was jumping.
Bro. They were getting it in the last 2 rounds. They were getting in the last 2 rounds, bro. It
was round 5 when Broner put it on. When he put it on, do I gotta run the live back?
Bro,
I don't have no problem. Bro, listen. Why did you give Broner the fight then?
I just told you, bro.
I'm getting punched.
Tyson, one second. Tyson Fury kept his hands in his pocket against Klitschko. I still gave him the fight. Don't mean you can't win the fight if your hands in your pocket.
I'm getting punched at numbers, man.
Bro, this is a dude. You're telling me he's gonna throw punches against Avanesian. Who was the last dude he fought? Who was the last dude he fought?
Huh?
Who was the last dude he fought? That dude was a natural 140. Yeah, that dude was a natural 140. And he didn't throw punches in that fight either. The dude that he lost, and everybody was saying he lost, but he ended up getting the win. What was that dude's name?
What was that dude's name? Santiago. Giovanni Santiago.
And you're telling me that dude, he didn't throw punches against him, but he's gonna throw punches against Avanesian. Is that what you're telling me, bro?
Yes, that dude was bigger than Avanesian. He was bigger.
That dude's a natural 140. That dude's a natural 140.
Bro, he looked like a 154 in there though. He looked like a 154 in there, bro.
I refuse to make you believe that it's because this dude because he's fighting a smaller dude, he's not gonna let his he's done. He's finished.
Shane.
Hey, let me time out. I hope the people in the chat is loving this shit, bro. Cause y'all two going at it.
Yo, the thing that's crazy with I didn't say Broner against any small person. I said Broner against Avanesian. I didn't say Broner against any other person. Any other small dude. There's a lot of small dudes I don't like.
The same Avanesian that beat Josh Kelly. Absolutely mops AB. He beats him 12-0. He beats him 12-0, bro. He beats him 12-0. Because for you, to me, I thought Santiago won 9 rounds out of 12.
Who?
Santiago. I thought he won 9 rounds out of 12.
I gave Santiago the fight. I gave Santiago.
AB don't throw punches, bro.
I'm telling you this, bro. I'm telling you this because I'm not high on Avanesian. That's what I'm telling you.
Bro, I'm not telling you this because you're high right now. That's what you're telling me.
Yo, go ahead, vlog. Go ahead, vlog.
I said y'all might not be, but motherfucker, I am.
All I'm saying is he said Broner's beating nobody. He said he's beating nobody.
He's beating nobody, bro.
Okay, all right, fair enough. We got my man Rob Acosta in the building.
But he beats Amir Khan, but Amir Khan's big. That doesn't make sense. Amir Khan's bigger than AB, but he beats
Shane. If Broner lands one shot on Khan, one solid
he's not gonna throw that shot. He's not gonna throw no punches. He won't throw no punches.
When is the last time Khan fought a fight and he didn't get caught with a shot?
When was the last time he fought?
Don't change the question.
I'll answer the question. When was the last time he fought a fight that doesn't throw more than 10 punches around? Dudes have to throw more than 10 punches around to land on him. They don't just land with one shot and knock him out. They throw a cumulative amount of punches and one will land and it'll be over.
A vlog, Can you tell me why
Okay, hold on. Let me get inside with the numbers. So you said he throw 10 punches around. I mean, if somebody as skilled as him, I'm sure one of those 10 gonna be a power shot. And this is against a guy we know his chin is equivalent to a toddler's. So I'm thinking AB may just be able to catch a guy like that, bro.
To be fair, his best chance will be against Amir Khan. But to be fair, Blunt, I can't even get angry at you for saying Amir Khan. I just think Jeff just smokes crack right now because I don't, bro. I have Jeff's knowledge for boxing all the way up here. So the fact that this dude said AB beats Avanesian, AB, the man who never throws punches, is gonna beat a dude who throws like 1,000 punches around. I don't see it. I don't see it.
That's fine. So he'll beat. So you see him beating. So you see him beating Khan. He has a better chance of beating Khan.
Wait, what? He has a better chance. He has a better chance.
Listen,
has a better chance.
Let me tell you why I disagree with that. Khan, regardless of Khan's chin, he's one of the best. He's one of the best at winning rounds. We both agree with that, right?
That's why I don't think he beats him. That's why I don't think he beats Khan.
We both agree with that, right?
Yeah.
We both agree with that, right? So you think he beats Khan, and
I don't think he beats Khan. I don't think he beats Khan. I don't think he beats nobody. I told you, I don't think you have to throw punches to win a fight. And he don't throw punches. Bro, I'm not even gonna lie, and I'm being dead serious, yeah. I'll pick him to lose to Inoue right now, and I'm being dead serious. I'll pick him to lose to any fighter that throws more than 10 punches around.
We gonna go viral because I'm clipping this shit and I'm sending this.
Bro, you can clip it. AB is finished. He's finished, bro.
I'm clipping this and I'm sending it to AB. I'm clipping this and I'm sending it to AB.
I'm gonna say this real.
We gonna go viral.
The dude throws more punches outside of the ring than he throws inside of the ring. That's just a fact.
Add this to the clip so I can show the boy some love. I did give him a 500 batting percentage on his European tour, so put that in.
I did too. But let me get through the rest of these comments because that I do agree that fight ain't never gonna happen. So this is kind of just a fun argument. I don't think it's ever gonna happen. I wouldn't get my cheesesteak from Shane off of this one. Amaro also, yo, bro, you know how long I've been trying to get you in one of these lives, brother, man. Big shout out to you, man. He keep me posted on IG and all that, man. Big shout out to you, brother. He said Broner ain't beating no Brook. Yeah, join the fantasy league too, bro. He said Broner ain't beating no Brook. Yeah, I think he definitely don't beat Brook. He said Brook way too big and strong. L-Dub boxing all goes well without Jerry. Ben should make his U.S. debut on Wood Conlon. Katie, Amanda proposed card on St. Patrick's Day at MSG. That's that plug shit right there, man. Big shout out to the plug. I didn't know that. He said Avanesian runs through Broner. Hey, man, you got somebody riding with you, Shane.
Bro, everybody should be riding with
Amaro, I think we in the same city, so we could bet a cheesesteak on that. I ain't got no problem with that. Only guy he has a shot against is Khan.
Shot. But I wouldn't make him a favorite, but he has a shot.
Yo, who would be the favorite in that fight?
Amir Khan has to be the favorite.
He'd be the favorite. Khan, he'd be a favorite. What number you put on it? Like a minus what? Mine with that chin glass. Be careful.
It'd be like 110, something like that. Just because it's about
50-50, bro. That's 50-50.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. You talking volume to balance out his chin glass. Can he throw more punches than, you know what I mean? He's so busy that dude can't get off. I mean, that's the only thing you hope in a fight with him, bro.
What you think, Shane? It'll be minus what?
I mean, I think when it comes to AB, bro, I just saw this dude lose to a dude called San, whatever that dude's name was. He lost that fight legitimately. So when I'm thinking Amir Khan will run, fight off the outside, box, and just basically light this dude up with so much fast combinations, and AB's looking for that one good single counter shot to knock the dude out. So how good would that counter shot be? I don't know. I'll give him about a 30% chance to beat Khan.
So you thinking what, like 3-1? Would Khan be 2-1?
Yeah. I think Khan will be a heavy favorite. I think AB will be plus 300.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I would say because of Khan's chin, I would say Khan will be minus. I would say maybe like 180,
I
something like
would
that.
I would
So
say
it
this
sound
though.
like
I would
split the
give him.
difference. That sound like a split the difference between me and Shane.
Mine.
Split the difference.
I mean, I
Not
can
quite
see the
down the middle.
300. Yeah, I mean, I can see the minus. I can see the
I can
3-1
see
too.
Shane's scenario.
I can
Boxing
see
from the
it.
outside. We're talking 10 rounds.
That's
So we
how
ain't
he would
talking
win. That's how he would win. Yeah, that's how
Yeah,
he would
box
win.
from the outside, stay out of trouble against a guy that don't really let his hands go. It's a 50-50 fight. That's why I wouldn't edge him that much because of his chin. Because you could probably just sneeze on him and knock his ass out. So I'm just saying.
I'll give him 5% chance to beat Conor Ben and 7% chance to beat Avenetian and maybe 7% chance to beat Kelbrook. That's what I would.
You
In
said
fact, I'll give him
5.
zero.
You said
I'll give him 0% chance to beat Kelbrook. 0%. He has no chance of beating Kelbrook, no chance of beating Conor Ben, and almost no chance of beating Avenetian.
I'm.
And a decent chance
Yo,
of beating
a
AB's rubbish, bro. AB is
a
rubbish.
Shane,
He's a rubbish fighter.
a
He's
Shane,
trash.
a Shane. We gotta send this to AB for motivation, man. He need motivation in his life. We gotta send it
Definitely,
to
bro.
him. Definitely gotta
He's
send it to him.
absolutely useless. This is the dude, and I always stay up to watch this dude's fights. And this dude, the reason why I'm so annoyed, because I believed in this guy. I believed in him. Even when he
That's
dropped
the real.
Sean
That's the.
Porter,
So
when
now this is therapy. So we get
when
down to
he
it
dropped
now.
Sean Porter with that one piece, I was like, yeah, even though he lost the fight, I was like, you know what? You can still give him credit. He fought Mikey Garcia and he fought that whole fight with a high guard. The whole fight. The dude was throwing singles like he was in a strip club, bro. That's all he was doing. That's all the dude done in the whole fight.
You know what, Shay? You know the thing that's funny. I've probably. I will say this. I'm gonna say this. My boxing eye, like as of right now, would say Avenesian. I'm talking my boxing eye. There's um there's some situations where my boxing eye gets put in the back seat, and that's really what it is. But from an actual boxing standpoint, just what Avenesian's done compared to that man, yes, absolutely. But I do like the matchup for Brown. I ain't gonna front. I do. But um no, but just conventional thinking, yeah, like yeah, you would say Avenesian, like no doubt. But I think he can get I think he would catch Khan though. I think he would catch Khan. Cause
Yeah,
what
there's
was that?
chance.
What was that? What was that? Adonis Stevenson. He was like, "Yo, I only got to be perfect for 1 second."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He would take that
No,
mentality
but let's
right
keep it
into that
real
fight.
though. AB ain't got that kind of. Even though you don't need that power against
Yeah, no.
Amir Khan, because
My son might rock the Amir Khan chin for real.
but if you think about it, this is a Khan who did beat Maidan.
Yeah, with that same style. I listen. Khan is if Khan had a chin, Khan would be one of the greatest fighters of all time, yo. Real shit. Real shit. Like that's his Achilles heel, man. Like because he's one of the best offensive fighters we've seen like in a while. Like it's not too many that's as gifted as him offensively. Like he gets busy offensively. He gets real busy.
Where we now in the comments? I don't know where the
We
hell we
are.
are.
I got it. So the only guy he has a shot against is Khan. Adrian in the building. What's going on, brother? He said the only one he beats is Glass Chin Khan. L Dub Avenetian has been on a roll lately. Confidence is real high now. He beats AB right now. Jamie Leroy, who would you like Joe Joyce to fight next?
Hergovich.
I like the Herkovich fight. Joe Joyce. I like the Herkovich fight. I wouldn't mind seeing him and Michael Hunter get busy. I
Oh
think
yeah,
that'll
no,
be a
that's a
good
good
fight.
fight as well. That's a good fight
What
as
you
well.
think, Vlog? What you think, Vlog? Get in this.
Now, if I don't know what his contractual situation is, so he's the type of guy that could use a little bit of international flair. So you come over here and catch a hot guy like Johnny Rice. That's a good name. It's an active name. Just saying.
You love Johnny Rice, yo.
Just saying. The dude that can box. It's a good test because the dude move a little bit, stick that jab. He gave a puncher like a jog by a little bit of difficulty. So what could he? You know what I mean? Could Joyce show some improvement? His ability to
Joyce versus Sanchez, bro.
I don't like that fight for Joyce.
You don't?
I don't like that style wise.
I don't know. I like it. I think he mollywop Sanchez, bro. He do not move like a job by move, bro. That is two different kinds of sets of power. He has more patience to his punches.
And let's keep it real, bro. Afia Jaguar doesn't throw as much punches as Joyce. Joyce is throwing a lot of punches. Like a Jaguar was literally just looking for a real good power punch the whole fight. And his punch resistance isn't that good because we saw the dude get dropped in one fight previously, and the only real hard punch Sanchez threw in that fight, he landed and dropped the dude. So I think that will be a good fight. It'll be a close fight. It'll be a boring fight, though. Yeah, both dudes are real slow.
Yeah, I don't like that fight because for the first thing, they're both of them are hella slow.
Catch up at the bottle, as you always say.
And I'm talking about turtles on the racetrack slow. Like this shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then it's just a bad style matchup for both guys. To be perfectly honest with you, I think Frank Sanchez does best actually having somebody come at him and gives him different opportunities. Conrad said AB was sleep. I mean Avanesha was sleep AB. I'm coming for all your bread if that happens, yo. I hope this might happen.
Joyce versus Helenius. That's a decent fight.
I like that fight too. I like that fight.
I don't like that fight for Joyce. That's the dude coming off a nice little run. You don't want to get in front of a freight train like that, bro. This dude,
Jesus Christ.
Just saying, it's coming off my dude, so I'm giving him credit. I'm trying to give him credit.
Vlog, put your cup on because I'm about to hit you with a little blow real quick. Coming off of 2 Adam Kalnacki victories is not being on the road, brother.
Literally, bro. That dude got knocked out by Gerald Washington. Helenius got knocked out by Gerald Washington, bro.
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it, bro.
Y'all don't understand where fighters come to that turnaround point in their career, bro. Just trying to tell you, we know fighters do it. Look at Gabe Rosado, just for a recent dude doing it. This can happen. This happened for Helenius. He on that set. You might not want to get in front of that freight train if you Joe Joyce and you're slow, like you do said. This dude is a great counterpuncher.
Can I say something? Can I say something to agree with Blunt? I mean, every fighter goes through this stage in their career. You know, when you've been having some tough fights, you need a cream puff like Kalnacki to give you some confidence. And I agree with you, Blunt. I agree with you. You need a dude like that to give you some confidence.
Yo, how you sporting the black eye?
You lucky I love you. That wasn't the middle finger, you fool. You talk about my mans like that.
Yo, man. That's funny, man. Like, how you got a black eye in your baby pictures, man?
Where we at now?
Hey,
on.
babyface, it wasn't me, man. It wasn't me, man. I've been on this show
Hold
lately.
on, Shane. Hold on, Shane ripping on AB. I'm ripping on Kaldaki, man. Yeah. Conrad said unless
Conrad.
AB gets his life together, I get his life back on track. I doubt that. Jamie Leroy, how you see Yard versus Lyndon Arthur fight going? I like
Yard.
Yard.
That's Yard.
I like Yard. I just don't think he's gonna make the same mistakes as he did in the first. There's no way on God's green he should have lost that first fight.
The truth is, what we saw is the first time Yard turned up the levels and actually went aggressive and said, "You know what, forget it," was in the top front, and he hurt Arthur.
And he hurt him.
I just think he's just gonna go straight, forget all of this boxing stuff, because he really tried to preserve his stamina because of what happened in the Kovalev fight.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't gonna do that this time. He's just gonna go straight forward and put some work in, because now he knows he can hurt Arthur. He ain't gonna be waiting.
The one thing I will say though that he needs to watch out for is Lyndon Arthur should have 2 good hands. So it's gonna be interesting to see what Lyndon Arthur does offensively as well. What you think, Vlog?
I'm leaning Arthur because I think he knows what he has to do to win. I think he knows how to stay out of range a little bit, and this is gonna be a game of tying up to me, which I didn't see in the Plant fight. So I'm hoping these trainers, these coaches, is trying to implement that a little bit. Don't dirty tie up. Don't be I'm not here to fight tie up, but be smart. Oh, dude on a little run. Let me grip him real quick. Let me get a little help from the ref. Slow this shit down. Get a different angle. Take a different step away from the action. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta do little small things like that to kill a power puncher's momentum to where he gonna get that money shot off. So, and Yard is not the type of dude to set his money shot up. To me, it comes through the free will of flow, and he get lucky and he catch one of these dudes. He don't set his shit up. So I think Arthur got to just be smart and get another victory.
I mean, both me and Jeff probably can agree with this, that the reason why I can't say what you're saying is incorrect, because Yard does have a time limit. Like, he has about 6-7 rounds before he's going to start. You're going to visibly see him slow down. Because if he comes out aggressive, he ain't going to last past 7 in terms of keeping that tempo.
Yeah, I going to the Plant comment that you made, Shane. Vlog. I'm still pissed off about that conversation Plant had with Canelo, man. I can't get over that shit, man. Like that shit. Imagine letting somebody like Kobe Bryant hear that. Bro, it's no way that happens with a guy like that. Like, he need that type of mentality, like Mamba mentality. Like, anybody that approves of that conversation from Plant in the 9th round of a unification fight, you got issues. You got issues. I'm like Shane said off camera, I'm like, Boots ain't having that conversation against Spence. He's not having that conversation against Bud Crawford. He going in there trying to kill. He ain't sitting up there asking them, "Oh, well, I'm pretty good for 24-0, right?" Like,
hey, bro, that was I made it. The bag came through. That was the bag came through conversation. Outside of contract, the bag came through. He was like, oh, no.
You're cracking up, Vlog. You're cracking up.
Vlog, hit the mute real quick, bro. Vlog, are you saying in between the 8th and the 9th round they checked his bank account and the check cleared? Is that what you're saying, Vlog?
I'm just saying, I think it was a distance sort of situation. They realized that threshold was cleared. He felt a bit comfortable and relaxed and was like, "Oh, say how you doing, my dude? You know what I'm saying? Your grass looking good over there, neighbor." You know what I mean? He had that.
That shit was embarrassing.
Jeff, let's run through these comments because there's some new people in that I just wanted to get.
It ain't new people. It ain't new people, but Rob Acosta, it ain't new to you either. You'll see in a second. Rob Acosta, Shane tripping on AB. Yeah, he definitely tripping on AB. Yo, Rob, I'm screenshotting this joint, man. I'm sending it to AB, man. We need to give him some motivation. Actually, that's who Broner need to go to. He need to go to Rob. That's what he need to go to. Broner hasn't hurt anybody at 147. Didn't he drop Porter at no, that wasn't 147. That was like 144.
No, that was 147. That was 147.
That's 147. That was probably the last time he hurt somebody. That's probably the last time he heard somebody. Respect is earned. Big shout out to you. He said Porter goes to sleep early, then 10.5. Stay tuned. This the guy that's the big Crawford fan. Crawford greatest in the world, baby. North side. He's not new. Crawford beats Canelo too easy. I told you he's not new. Crawford gonna smoke Porter like brisket. Terrence Bud Crawford is the best in the world. Hey man, join the fantasy league, man, and put that in the fantasy league.
Join the fantasy league, bro.
G5JeffTV.com. $500 for the winner of the league, man. Miles Boots beats them all. Free to play. Said Boots beats them all. They could. That's Vlog's #1 pound for pound guy right there, Miles. Just to let you know. L Dub, I like Joyce versus Ortiz. I kind of like that fight.
Ortiz is still kind of old though.
Yo, he been old for the past 10 years, yo.
Joyce Ruiz.
I like that fight. Luis Ortiz was born with a mustache, yo. Like that's how old he is. Like, he's old, yo. Like senior citizen old. Like Amaro said AB got to throw more than one shot at a time to beat Evanesian. Hey Amaro, we in the same city, man. If that happens, man, we betting a cheesesteak on that. Evanesian pressure would give him Maidana flashbacks. He ain't cracking like that. I like to see Joyce in with Hunter or Sanchez. I like the Hunter fight. I really don't like the Sanchez fight. Jamie Leroy, do you think Otto Wallen would give Dillian a hard night if that fight happened? Yeah, I think he would definitely give Dillian White some problems. He definitely gives Dillian White some problems.
He definitely gives him
Otto Wallen's a good fighter, man. Good fighter.
But I still think Dillian White would beat him.
I think Dillian White still win the fight though, but he's a good fighter. He said if Parker wins versus Chisora, he will fight Joyce for a WBO title eliminator, I assume. I hope he knocked Parker smooth out. Like I hope
Parker retires from boxing, dude.
Damn, Shay.
He's my least favorite fighter in the sport.
Damn,
he's my least favorite fighter in the sport.
Is he my least favorite fighter in the sport? Hold on, Joyce. He said Joyce is like 36. He wants a title shot. Amaro said he did. Jeff Canelo heard it and KO'd him 5 minutes later. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was crazy. Porter fight was a catchweight 144. That's what I thought.
Was it 144?
It was 144. I remember
Amaro.
I do remember that because I remember Broner was trying to drain Porter, and Broner looked worse than Porter in the weigh-in. Like, yo, Broner looked 3 shades darker. That's how bad he was making weight. He was like 3 shades darker.
That was also like when he tried to make weight against Mikey, because apparently this dude didn't eat for like 3 days or something.
Yeah, I think he was like 139 or something like that. He was like 139 for that fight, and he was dead weight. Adrian said that might be Bernie the Boxer burner account. That is hilarious. Yeah, that might be. That might be. Amaro said, I hate Joe Parker, ultimate gatekeeper. I just don't like his style, bro.
Yeah, it's his style.
His style sucks, man. Like his style.
I think he's responsible for some of the most boring tall rounders that the heavyweights ever seen. Him versus Huey Fury, him versus Junior Farr. Oh my gosh, they're straight sleepers, bro.
Hey, Amaro. You remember them fights, them schoolyard fights in Philly, man, when neither one of the dudes could fight and they just stayed on the wall the whole time fucking wrestling? That's Joseph Parker. Like that's how he fight. You know what I mean? Vlog know about them old fights in the schoolyards and shit, man. They never got past the gate. They never got past the wall. They never threw no punches. They just was just wrestling. That's Joseph Parker.
A whole lot of gesturing.
A whole lot of gesturing and posturing. That's what a bunch of this. Like, yeah. Like, for real. Broner was the A side. Yeah, he was. Amaro laughing. He said Joe Parker is terrible. Yeah, he is horrible, bro. Hey, Amaro, you all right with us?
Amaro, bro, you need to join the fantasy league, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna send him the information on IG. He sends me a lot of stuff. So big shout out to you, bro. Yeah, but do y'all think Canelo actually signs back with Hearn and goes on the European tour?
Uh,
For the last time, I'm telling you, you heard it here first and for the last time. We will see him in the WBO title eliminator against Zach Parker to start his second European tour when he will go into retirement.
Zach Parker's a 68.
yeah,
Yes.
Zach Parker just won the last fight. 68.
Why would Canelo fight in the title eliminator when he got all the belts?
Dude, I mean, it's not a title eliminator. Dude,
Well, I
just
mean,
won.
it'd be just a title defense.
Yeah,
Okay.
he just. I meant, dude. The boy just won the title eliminator just early this past weekend. So it was like Friday.
Okay.
No, it was Saturday, bro. I was live for that fight.
Yeah.
It was Saturday.
It was Friday for me because I was still tired.
He's funny. Amaro said, especially for heavyweight, yeah, he's terrible, man. Terrible. First of all,
the truth is, bro, if to answer your initial question, I feel like it's just for the right fight. Whatever the right, that's when he's gonna be trying to petition. Like, if Eddie Hearn's got a nice bag for him and it makes sense, then he'll go do that work. But he's not gonna sign no long-term deals with nobody. But if Eddie Hearn's got a nice bag for him, you know, I feel like Eddie Hearn is that. You know, I feel like Eddie Hearn is that chick that everybody has just in case things go wrong. You know, if you got you're going out there, you're looking for the real prime female, but you got Eddie Hearn just that backup line when it gets lonely at night. You know, that's what Eddie Hearn is, bro.
Hey, yo, you gonna stop disrespecting my man Eddie Hearn, man. We still trying to get hired by him, man. You can't be saying no shit like that, man. Come on,
Eddie,
man.
Look in the streets, boy. He, man, Eddie the type motherfucker bag your broad while you out.
Exactly.
Get home, your bed cold.
He gonna tell he gonna be like, yeah, I'm taking her to a press conference, and that press conference is at the Motel Hotel Holiday Inn. Yeah, I mean, Eddie Hearn smoother than a gangster, boy. I tell you, Morrow said Joe Smith lobbying for the Canelo fight, WBO champion 175. Yeah, we like that fight. We was talking about that yesterday.
Yeah,
we big fans of Joe Smith. We fuck with Joe Smith, even though he did my man Jesse Hart dirty. But he's a guy that got Philly. He act like a Philly dude, man. Like hard hat, just work hard, man.
Yeah.
He's improved a lot.
Yeah, the tough fight against Vlasov, but man.
Well, we big fans of Joe Smith. We would like to see Joe Smith get that opportunity too. I think it'd be a good fight.
He ain't gonna be having no conversation in the middle of the ring.
Absolutely, he's gonna have conversations with hooks. You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
He said, and the WBA Mando was in the UK. Yeah, so that's what I mean, that's essentially.
Oh, John Ryder.
So that guarantees two act part of a European tour. So another 4 fight for venues. You know how they do, get them soccer stadiums and be out there singing in front of the crowd.
He can do Parker. He could do Parker. He could do Ryder, and then he can do Eubank. He can literally go on a whole European tour for next year.
You might as well do that in the first 5 months of the year, bro. First 5 months of the year.
Yeah, like he could get that out the way. He could fight 4 times next year if he takes on them 3. You know what I mean?
I mean, the way the Caleb Plant fight, when he probably can fight again this year, bro.
Oh, you disrespectful, bro. He gonna fight on Christmas.
Any action at them chasing that $1 billion bag? Any action at them really chasing that? Is that something you think? I'm saying they've been trying to pattern Floyd.
I think he need to make an exclusive deal with Saudi. You know what I'm saying? If he go to Saudi Arabia, you know what I'm saying, for his next maybe 4 or 5 fights, he's probably bagging like 75 mil each fight. He bagging 75 mil a piece.
No. The problem with him, though, I will say this. Even though Canelo's got a big fan base, I feel like he won't get as much as AJ. even though he's got a bigger fan base than AJ, I'll tell you why. From the site, not from the TV companies, but from the site, because
The
they
site
make
fee.
their money. Yeah, they make their money from fans in the stadium. Mexican fight fans, from what I know, don't travel. UK fight fans travel, so I think that's why AJ got so much money because
But I
of all of
think,
those UK fight fans that travel. I don't think Mexican fight fans travel.
do you think UK fighter? You think UK would travel to see Canelo in Dubai?
No,
You don't think so?
unless he's fighting a good British name.
If he's fighting Eubank,
Like if he's fighting Eubank, yeah. If he fights Eubank, yeah,
yeah, if it
100%.
makes sense.
If
Yeah.
you know what fight will be doping, and this, I'm not saying I want to see this fight, by the way, but in Saudi Arabia, if this was like 5 years ago, if they made Amir Khan versus Canelo in Saudi Arabia instead of in Vegas, that would have done some crazy money as well.
Yeah, it did some big money.
Because the first person to get that bag in Saudi Arabia was Amir Khan, and that was because he was Muslim.
Yeah, he made $8 million on a fighting a 130 pounder.
It was a Billy Dib.
Billy Dib fought Tevin Farmer, yo. Come on,
Yeah.
man, stop it. Jamie Leroy said Eddie Hearn mentioned a third fight with Triple G versus Canelo. Can't see it happening though, man. I don't want to see Triple G make it past New Year's. I don't want to see him make it past New Year's, yo.
Yeah, I'm
sick of Triple G, man. I still like the Eubank fight. I think Eubank will do well enough to get himself knocked out in the first like 6 rounds. It's gonna be
you think Canelo can knock out Eubank?
It'll be so many counterpunching opportunities for Canelo, man. It don't make no sense.
You think so?
Sense, bro.
Canelo.
I'm gonna tell you why. The thing with Eubank, and Shane, you know this. We didn't watch Eubank a lot. When he throw those 4 or 5 punch combinations, where is his chin?
In the middle.
In the air.
Yeah, right down the line.
Right down the center, straight down the middle of the field, and straight up in the air. He asking to get knocked out.
I know, but let's keep it real. This dude's got a real good chin. He's got a real good chin.
Let me follow up real quick.
Is this pre Roy Jones, or is this post Roy Jones that we talking about?
No, he with Roy Jones right now, so it's post Roy Jones. And listen, the chemist game is gonna be off the meat rack out there in Dubai. the chemicals is gonna be insane, bro. Like, are you serious? Conrad Boxing. He said I still like the Eubank fight.
But Eubank's got a good chin.
No, he got good whiskers. He got good whiskers, man. I like.
You know what? That fight's gonna be entertaining as long as it lasts. Because Eubank's coming for that work, bro.
Yeah, he's definitely
gonna come for that work. So it's gonna be entertaining because we're gonna find out a lot about Canelo in that fight, because we're gonna know if he's gonna be willing to stand in the pocket and trade, even if he has to take shots. Because when was the last time he actually stood in the pocket and traded with the inside fighter?
Yeah,
so if we get that fight, who y'all get a size ass to? Who you think
can be the bigger fighter? Eubank can be
bigger than Canelo.
You know what? I'm sorry. No, Canelo be the bigger fighter. He'd be the bigger fighter. I keep forgetting Eubank is.
Who would have faster hand?
Ooh. Eubank. I think Eubank got the faster hands. Let me get this out of the way for the people that's listening. Chris Eubank is one of the most physically gifted fighters you're going to see. I say that about him. I say that about Anthony Yarde. I'm talking pure physical talent. That's why Roy Jones took him on. He got pure physical talent. Like, just if you got to craft a fighter in terms of physical attributes, Chris Eubank could probably have a lot of what you need. You know what I'm saying? It's really the
amazing
IQ.
Amazing speed. He's got decent power. I mean, athletically, he's just really gifted.
It's
just
really
the
IQ. It's just his IQ is just not, his boxing IQ is not high. All them years of him not listening to coaches and not being around the right guys and just listening to his dad and all that, and his dad in between rounds, he's standing in the corner like this.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's Superman. He like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, like all of those years of that, man, it was a detriment. to his career, man. If he'd have
Yeah, and
linked up
his
with Roy
learning.
5 years ago, he'd have linked
Yeah.
up with Roy 4 or 5 years ago, man. It'd have been crazy. It'd have been absolutely crazy because you could tell he actually takes his time with Eubank, so he's helping him. He's helping him with the IQ part of the game, man. I would love to see that fight, me personally, but I like Eubank against Charlo. I think he'll get Charlo problems. I think he would get
Yeah, I
Charlo
think he's
problems.
Charlo problems.
Yeah, I think
Definitely.
he'll get Charlo problems, man. I like Charlo against any of them dudes at 160. I like him against Munguia. That's a good
The
fight.
truth is, they just need to. That's why the division is so trash. Because they just need to match each other up. Like, they just need to go, you know what? Let's just fight. Forget all of this. Forget all of the politics that's going on. I can name like 6, 7 guys out of that division that they're just nowhere near fighting each other.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think Eubank. I think I could think of 6 different names you could put him up against, and I think he'd be really, really competitive. Really competitive, man. I would like now people are talking about Conor Ben taking a step up fight next year. I think Chris Eubank, he needs to take a step up fight. I would have loved to see him and Jaime Munguia. Like that would be fight of the year type
That
shit. That would
that
be
would be amazing
crazy.
fight.
That would be an
That would
amazing
be an
fight.
amazing fight.
Hey, great transition, Jeff, because that's a fight I want to talk about, bro.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Yeah, do what you do with the comments, but let's get into
No, I'm
that.
done. I'm done
Mark
with
it
the
up.
comments.
Okay.
So-
How you got it?
Did
We
you guys
talked
talk about Hurd and Charlo already?
a little earlier, yeah. It was like right before you got on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Jaime Munguia versus Gabe Rosado, man, this Saturday, man. Of course, we're gonna get
I thought we were
into
going
it.
to talk about that later in the
We can, but we can preview it now. It's cool. I like the fight, man. I really like the fight. I think Gabe got a shot. I think he definitely has a shot, but I have to go off a track record. I think Jaime Munguia wins the fight. I just don't know how yet. I'm gonna say decision.
Munguia is probably one of the most easiest fighters to hit with. No matter who he fights, he's just so easy to hit. But so is Rosado. Rosado's gonna come to a fight, but the problem is Rosado is a fighter who I don't think he's aware of his imperfections. Like the dude just comes in, even if he gets knocked down, he just coming to war every single round, round after round after round. I'm just like,
Hey Shane, he's actually done better in his last 2 fights. He's boxed very well in his last 2 fights. Defensively,
I mean, I know
responsible.
his last fight. He
Last
fought
2.
Real War.
Last
I ain't
2.
watched the fight before that. Who did he fight before that? Tell me, who did he fight before?
Jacobs.
He fought against Jake. I thought that
He
fight was a
fought
bit
well.
trash to me.
It was trash, but I would say he was
I thought that
defensively
fight was
responsible
trash.
though. It was trash, but he was defensively responsible though in that fight. That was my only point.
Quick preview, you know what I mean? Keep it light since we're going to tap in on it later in the week. I just like the way Jaime boxed on the back foot. And I think he showed some improvement with that, especially coming up in weight. Meaning he can sting you because, you know, he touched the homie, you know what I mean? Big respect to my boy, you know what I mean, Toriano. But he clipped him, and that was off the back foot, so to speak, off the rope.
But he didn't hurt Toriano though. That just cut his mouth. He didn't really hurt him. Toriano was still coming forward.
Damage is damage. If that damage stops the fight, it's equivalent to a KO, bro. So I'm giving them that edge in this fight, saying, okay, if you gonna hit like that off the ropes, then I gotta give you the advantage against a guy that's just a come forward sort of guy in Rosado, and who's not defensively sound. So, and he cuts and he bruises. So I'm just looking at it from a quick little preview. I'm giving the edge to Jaime in this one, just off the back foot game being better.
What you think, Sean?
I'm still torn on this one. I'm picking my Munguia to win. I'll probably pick Munguia to win. I think potentially Munguia can stop him. I'm probably thinking like maybe 10th round, 9th round, something like that. I actually wanted you to read this question.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to.
Amazing.
Jamie Leroy, Eubank fighting Liam Williams next, apparently. Oh,
that will be a fire fight, bro.
Bro, that'd be a crazy fight. I think he stops Liam Williams though.
Ain't nobody taking a step back in that fight.
Yeah, I think Eubank stops him though.
Yeah,
just because he got the better offense. He got the better offense.
Yeah.
So offense is Eubank offense can be dynamic.
Hey,
What you think,
that's
Buck?
a good fight. I give Eubank the edge. I think he's a little bit more accurate with the punches, but he's subject to catch some eye catching shots from Liam because he is busy. Even though he's the less accurate puncher, some will land from him throughout the fight to keep it interesting. But I get the edge to Eubanks in that one. But anyway, fellas, man, I gotta slide up out of here. It was good chopping with y'all. Y'all knew what it do. Hit
We
me
can reckon
with
about it anyway.
yeah. So let me slide out first. Big respect to everybody in the chat.
Hey, yo, I gotta call you up camera. I gotta ask you something.
Well, you know how we do. We chop game all the time.
Yeah,
So put
I
the
was
link.
making sure you was available after
Oh
like
yeah,
next
yeah,
5 minutes.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. All right. So anyway,
All right.
bro, put the link in the chat for me, man. Everybody slide over to the channel. I got some good work cracking. I got a fresh. I mean, the article gonna be lovely that y'all getting ready to read. I've been working on it. It's gonna be nice, man. So I'm keeping the articles flowing. G5JeffTV.com. Y'all join that fantasy league, and everybody just enjoy yourself in this world of boxing that we living in. I'm out.
Absolutely, man. Big shout out to BoxingFirst Vlog, man. I'll get with you, bro.
All right, fam. Peace,
All right.
Peace, bro.
That was BoxingFirst Vlog, man. Signing off. Yeah, I like. I mean, we got good fights this weekend. Of course, we're gonna cover them on more in detail on Thursday. Really get
We
down
got
to it.
Galahad and Kiko
Galahad,
Martinez as well.
Kiko Martinez. That's a solid fight. As
This
well.
is Galahad's first title, IBF. Is it IBF? Yeah, IBF title
Yeah,
defense.
he on his Tyson Fury thing, man. First title defense. You know what I'm saying? But hold on, before I forget, man, big shout out to T Street Controversy, man. He shared the podcast on Twitter, man. That's a big look. You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to T Street Controversy.
Oh, that's
yeah.
Tell T Street to join the fantasy league, boy. If he thinks he knows about boxing,
yeah,
tell him to test it against the league's the table's coming out today. It should have come out already. The only reason why it hasn't is because, in fact, we could actually show it now on live, but I would actually wait. And
we can wait.
It's fine.
We can
do it tomorrow.
But big shout out to T Street Controversy, man. Like, did something he didn't have to do, man. Big shout out to him. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna cut this one right here, man. Good hour and a half long. You know what I'm saying?
We didn't really I didn't even get to speak about the Charlo.
Oh, well, go ahead and talk about it.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm pretty sure
you want to give a brief comment on it, because we didn't get your opinion on it.
I mean, all I was gonna say was, when you look at the landscape, I mean, both Charlo brothers and Hurd have problems when it comes to inside the ring. They got a lot of stuff to handle.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to all of that stuff outside of the ring, you can just drop that out. Because if you think about it, Charlo's got Castano problems. Hurd's got problems, full stop. And Big Charlo has Andrade problems. So everybody just needs to sort out their own personal careers. It's not like what we saw the other day with Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, where those dudes were in the same division, and you can potentially see why they would potentially fight each other. Like, the path would make sense if they fought each other. It doesn't even make sense if Charlo fights Hurd right now, and vice versa.
He'll be doing Hurd a favor.
Exactly.
He's coming off of a loss. Who did he lose to? He lost to
Arias.
Luis Cuba Arias. So I mean, to be honest with you, he need to go get that back. He need to go get back.
Yeah.
He need to go get that back.
So all of that stuff is just unnecessary. At this point, you just kind of making yourself look like unprofessional. Yeah. And the reason why I say that is because we're in a firstly, bro, I don't even know why a dude like Charlo brothers are even at that fight. If we're keeping it real, bro, Canelo ain't at your fights. He ain't watching your fight. So why the hell are you watching him? Like, I don't understand that. Like, these dudes, they really should just prioritize themselves and look at how they're presenting themselves in the public eye. Because I can understand it's about building noise, making noise, and stuff like that. I understand that controversy sells, but you gotta stay in your lane. At this point, none of you guys are even in each other's path right now, so that's all unnecessary. I just found that a big waste of time. It's not like he's going face to face and head to head with Castano. That would make sense. Or Andrade, where Big Charlo would face to face with Andrade. You're doing something with a dude who lost to J Rock, lost to Arias. He's got work to that. He's got to do his own stuff, and you got unfinished business as well. So I kind of thought that was just a big waste of time, in my opinion, man.
Yeah, I think 154 is an absolute mess right now.
But
To be
it's
honest,
one fight away from undisputed. But
yeah,
underneath Charlo and Castano, often underneath that one fight, it's just absolute anarchy. You can't even come up with a top 10 right now.
yeah. The thing is, like, I really think, I honestly think Castano's the best fighter at 154.
You can argue that
Like,
all day long.
I honestly think he's the best fighter at 154, man. It's just, I would have usually have said Charlo, but it's just, I question the IQ inside of the ring, and his IQ gets questioned because of his emotions. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
the dude,
saying?
the
Like, it
dude's
seems
real
like
emotionally
really,
impulsive.
really emotional inside of the ring, and there's no sense of calm. There's no slow game with
Control,
him, no control. Like where Jamal has more control. So
where he's
I like,
composed, like you can see he's got a bit more composure. And
yeah,
yeah, just as a little side note while we're talking about 154, this is why you got to kind of respect what those Australian dudes are doing with Tim Zoo. Right? New Zealand dudes are doing with Tim Zoo right now. I don't know where he's from, Australia, New Zealand, one of them. But you got to respect that. The reason why I say you got to respect it because during all of this havoc, he's just stayed active, made sure he kept busy. And if you think about it, whilst J Rock, Jarrett Hurd, and Harrison has kind of not been keeping the momentum, he's kept his name there, and so was someone like Lubin. So
yeah,
when the
yeah,
undisputed fighter, whoever wins, there's not really anybody else that they can call other than a Lubin or a Tim Zoo. If we're being
right,
honest, if we're
right.
being honest,
And if there was a guy at 147 that felt like they could jump up to 154 and make some noise, and right now it'd be about the time.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Right now it'd be about the time, man. And I'm thinking more Danny, Keith Thurman. If they're not going to get into fights to pass the torch, then go up to 154 and let
And
them young
now's the best
bucks.
time.
Now's the best
Now
time.
is the best time
Now's
at
the
what?
best
Because
time.
you don't want to be playing with those dudes at 147. At
Yeah, because
154 is so all over the place. You can slide right in.
he can slide. I mean, Danny can slide right in. To be honest with you, I would, I would like his chances in a Hurd fight. Like,
Hmm.
I would like his chances in a Hurd fight right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Keith Thurman wanted to go up and go see Tony Harrison, I would like his chances against Tony Harrison based off of what I seen in the last fight. So
Or
this is the right time. This is the right
Danny
time.
versus J Rock or something, or all
Yeah,
three fight or something.
yeah. Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's, and that's where 147 is kind of in a weird situation too, because there's so much talent, but you got so many guys that are either got names and they're older, or you got young guys and they're looking for the opportunity. So
Yeah,
it's
but when you got a sea full of sharks, you'll see the dudes who ain't really at that level. They get ushered out and they'll get seen out. Like you'll see them get slowly weeded out. Either they're gonna take a loss or they're gonna have to retire. And we've seen that in previous eras when it comes to like the previous welterweight era with the Bradleys and Devin Alexander and Floyd Mayweather. When the young dudes like Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, and those dudes were coming through, Sean Porter, Kell Brook,
you got
you
a
really
choice.
saw
You got a
you
choice.
really what do you say?
You got a choice to make.
Yeah, you got a choice, bro. You either got to move up or you got to call it a day. And we saw the likes of Tim Bradley call it a day, and um, Floyd called it a day. When you reach that stage in your career, you have to, or you're gonna have to fight them like Pacquiao did, where Pacquiao went in there and fought the dogs of the division. So you got to give him credit for that. But not everybody's built like that.
No, that's 100% facts, and that's what makes it so interesting because 147 there's about 4 or 5 guys that need to make that decision. And then at 154, there's no definitive king at 154. Like
The worst thing that could happen is for dudes coming up. The worst thing that can happen for dudes coming up is for Castano to beat Charlo. The reason why I say that is because if Charlo becomes undisputed, now for me and Jeff, we don't care who wins, but for dudes coming up, if Castano was to become undisputed, you got a live dog who you now know he's proven, but he ain't no money. There's no money behind him. You see my point? So it's real difficult. It's real difficult to go and market that dude. Like, could you imagine Danny Garcia versus Castano? Like, let's keep it real. Even though he'll be fighting for undisputed, it's a fight you could potentially lose from real low reward.
And get dogged too.
Dogged.
He can get dogged in that fight.
It's not like a boxing lesson. Like you could arguably say like a lot of dudes who become undisputed, they box their way to undisputed. Castano is going out there and he's ripping your head off. And that's one of the reasons why what people are talking about with Charlo. I give Charlo credit for the fight he done against Castano, but at the same time, going into the second fight, I feel like he's going to make more of the same mistakes because he's going to look at that fight on reflection and say, well, the only time I had successes was when I landed those big shots. But he's going to ignore the fact that he lost so many rounds in the pocket. He's not going to box in that next fight. I don't think anyway. I think he's going to go out there and try to brawl. And I feel like with someone like Castano, I feel like really and truly he was unlucky. He could have easily won that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Like it's a great situation if Al wants to take advantage of that. Because to be honest with you, I'm like he has to rebuild Danny Garcia. He has to rebuild Keith Thurman.
But you know what, bro? That's why I don't think we've seen an immediate rematch with that fight, bro. Because let's keep it real. Castano ain't signed to nobody, so he could have easily got him back in the ring with Charlo. That fight was in June. We ain't heard no talk about a rematch, bro.
Oh no, the reason why there was a monkey wrench in it because one of the sanctioning bodies for Charlo's belt, they ordered the mandatory. So that's what put a stop on that.
I heard that, bro, but the reason why that was recently though. That was even the last month.
It was like a month after the fight. It was like a month.
Seriously, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, it was like Yeah, it was like a month after the fight.
The reason why I was saying that is because I'm just thinking like that's a fight that immediate rematch. Like as soon as they leave the ring,
as soon as they was talking immediate, it was like they said Charlo had to fight some Russian dude, like some Russian mandatory or something. It was like a month after the fight. And that's why they stopped talking about it because they didn't know if it had to go to purse bid or not. So that's what put the brakes on.
But what's happening with that fight then?
Ain't nobody heard nothing. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know if they're trying to put something behind the scenes.
But that's my point though. Like in that time, I'm pretty sure Charlo could have got an undisputed fight done. I don't know, bro. I'm just saying.
Conventional thinking you would.
Do you not feel like maybe Al Heyman's looking at that fight and thinking, you know what? I'm gonna just leave it. Maybe he's looking at it like that because right now he's got that money. Charlo is still a sellable fighter. If he loses to Castano, it's a difficult fight to sell. Castano's not an easy sell.
Peep my vision on this. If Al thinking the way I think Al thinking, and of course he's keeping it in house or whatever. So he's not signed to Castano, so technically he's working outside of his network, right? So what fights can you put up against Charlo where, you know, it makes sense from a money standpoint where you can really maximize the money? It's guys that he has at 147 that need to move up to 154. So he needs to look at a Jermell Charlo, Danny Garcia for name value.
That's a fact. He can't afford for Jermell Charlo to lose to Castano. He can't afford for that.
Can't afford for that to happen. A Jermell Charlo, Keith Thurman at 154. He has to recreate guys. He has to rebuild guys' names at 147.
Jeff,
and
we're gonna have to jump off though.
No, we getting ready to jump off. You started talking, we started cooking a little bit, man. I was planning on getting off anyway. Hour 50 minutes strong, man. Give them your social media, bro.
I_am Shane, the #1.
on Instagram. You can find me all over the place: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter at G5JeffTV. Go to G5JeffTV.com. Go register for the Boxing Prediction Fantasy League. It is free to join, and $500 cash prize for the winner of season 2. And on behalf of Boxing First Vlog, my man VP Shane and myself, we are out. We'll be back tomorrow, episode 21 of the Goodfellas podcast. We out.
Ciao.